more going on. The books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Tuesday, March 11th. It's March for sure. Just getting started with the big tournaments here today, this morning. Great to have you here as we get ready for early basketball. Yeah, not a full-on every conference, everyone playing here like we will get on Wednesday, Thursday, and some Friday, but I'm going to give you a little taste of some daytime tournament basketball today. So we'll preview the action in the major conferences, the day games here. We'll leave a few games for Mikey later on, but we'll preview the early games in major conferences as well as those championship games tonight here. We're not going to let him have all the fun, but Mikey will get you covered with those late games in the major conferences with his whichever ones he ends up selecting. You know he'll have some college action tonight, but I'll preview the day games in the Big 12 and the ACC, as well as championship games in the Coastal, in the Horizon League, and, of course, in the West Coast Conference. Last night, if you missed it, it was the Gonzaga Bulldogs pulling away there for the win against the San Francisco Dons for, that's their 33rd consecutive victory, whatever it was, over the Dons, but it was Gonzaga advancing there. Hey, we swept the West Coast Conference plays here on the show yesterday with the total under Pepperdine and St. Mary's as the Gales. My pick to win the tournament anyway. Does that mean I've got them tonight? Well, I mean, I'm probably going to have to, but St. Mary's with the win, of course, over Pepperdine. Pepperdine got that money again. Great job by the Waves, but St. Mary's Pepperdine game under. We had that here on the Morning Steam, and also we had the over in the USF Gonzaga game, and, of course, USF was able to get that money for Mikey money yesterday on pre-gaming there. So great job, Mikey. We did have a pretty fine day here with some of our tournament winners yesterday, including Delaware and Towson. We had that one over here on the Morning Steam. We did not get home with Wilmington. They won the game. Wilmington, my choice to win the Coastal all week here, but that was our consensus pick. We went down with Wilmington. They couldn't get the number against Coastal, but Wilmington in that final. Also, we have the winner with Youngstown State and Cleveland State to go under. That was our pick here on the show. We did have consensus play on Robert Morris. Probably got home for some. The line did move. When we talked about it on the show, it kind of already moved to 3.5. We know the game landed 3. Nonetheless, Robert Morris keeps winning here right now. Whether or not you tack on another win of their cover streak right now doesn't really matter, man. The way they're going here, it's just a good story with Robert Morris with Bobby Moe in the horizon. We'd also had a winner here on the show yesterday with Montana State and Idaho State game to go over there. And also want to mention I did sweep over there on another show that I appear on in the afternoons. Hopefully you're able to check me out over there with the show that I'm on with the happy hour. And I did give out both Northwestern State and Nichols State in the Southland quarterfinals there yesterday. Some of the conferences we won't get to today, but once they get down to their finals. We will also NHL action. We did go 3-1 on the show here yesterday. We had the Ottawa Senators over the Detroit Red Wings. We also had the Colorado Avalanche on the puck line, and we had the Toronto Maple Leafs over the Utah Hockey Club. NBA last night. Winners on the show included Philadelphia and Atlanta game to go over. We also had the Utah Jazz getting that cover against Boston yesterday. We had Charlotte getting the money over Miami. Charlotte gave them a big run there yesterday. Great job by the Hornets. Also, we had the Chicago Bulls here on the show. We also had the Houston Rockets as our show winner. Also, winner Dallas and San Antonio over here yesterday. So, a lot of winners on the show. Didn't have so many picks with the premium selections, but we're already loaded up over there today as we get ready for a big week. We'll be firing for sure all week long. All right. Appreciate everybody here. Let's go to the chat and see who's here from the chat all-stars today as we get rolling with the show. And here is Nuke ready to go with big conference tournament action today. As we mentioned from Big 12, ACC, like I said, we'll handle the day games. Let Mikey handle whatever he wants at night, but I think we've got 8 games to preview from conference tournament action, 4 in the NBA, and that big hockey card. We're going to look at it, no doubt about it. Cash Kane here today. Joe W. is here, and Thomas Lewis, my right-hand man. He's my Ed McMahon. Thomas Lewis, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Like it, share it, smash it. Gerardo's here. Hello. Gerardo, ready to go. I didn't mention, I don't know if Gerardo stopped by yesterday when I could whine about the choke job of the Tijuana Cholos at home, losing 4-3. We've got today Champions League, of course. It's a big day of Champions League action. 4 games in the Champions League today. And yeah, I might have a pick or two, but we're going to let Sub here. Here's a 0x Parasite. Don't know how to pronounce it yet, but great to have you again. And Sub's here. Maybe we'll get his opinions on these Champions League games today with Benfica and Barcelona, Bayern Munich and Leverkusen, all German matchup. Feyenoord and Inter, PSG and Liverpool. We already know the scores. We've got 4 shutouts riding here so far in the Champions League, and see what we have from the chat with the big games here today. There's also some CONCACAF Champions League tonight involving all games involving Major League Soccer teams and a couple from Mexico. Bobby Mack is here. I'm blue, da-do-dee-da-do-die. Smash it and like it, everybody. I'll be Travis. Likes New Mexico to win the Mountain West. Oh, no. Well, got to respect what the Lobos have done right now. In the contest across the street, I may look like a homer, but I had to take San Diego State as a 4 seed here. The contest that Mr. Higgs is running, you get points for every for whatever seed is being selected. So I can't pass on San Diego State at a 4 seed to get 4 points. Hopefully Magoon Guath is ready to go, but I'm not so sure here. R. Toms, good morning. Hello. AOD is here, ready to talk Pistons. And New York City video assisted replay is here also. All right. Great to have everyone here. Just want to mention right now that I do have some plays up ready and available for college tournament action this morning over at winnable.com. You can get my best plays over at winnable.com. Click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to my Winnable page. This is how you support me here on the channel. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the subscribers over there, to not only the paid paywall subscriptions. Got a few dozen of you signed up for those picks at 15 cents a day, $19.95 a month when you use the promo code STEAM. That is just 50 cents a day. And wouldn't you pay 50 cents for this great show? Well, even if you didn't, you get some great content when you subscribe over there at winnable.com. All I do is send my plays. You see the phone there on the right. That's kind of what it looks like. I send my plays in just a simple text form. You get a couple of updates every day. I've been a little slow on my premiums, want to make sure we have the best plays, but we're ready to fire here today for sure. And I've got a 5-pack of games over there right now at Winnable for today's action. And also, I have my Champions League picks over there with my free subscription. So if you want to get a few more plays for Champions League, head on over to winnable.com/Ramon and you'll get more plays from me today in the Champions League. And I may have a few on the show here, depending on what we get from the guys in the chat. I don't want to step on any toes here if my guys have a few plays, but if they don't, I'm going to fire here with you guys on the show. So go over to winnable.com. All right, thanks for listening to that. This is what it looks like when you get over there. When you go to Winnable/Ramon, comes right up on your phone, just like that, with Apple Pay, Google Pay, real easy. You click the pay button to subscribe, and it comes right up. So you should be able to subscribe over there at winnable.com. We've got our first Steam plays of the morning. Let's start with those right now because they are in early action here in the ACC. Let's get our first Steam. There have been some other overnight moves as well, but just moments ago, it was Notre Dame taking the Steam. How about this, huh? Notre Dame here, game at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific, and their matchup with Pittsburgh. Notre Dame was a 4-point dog, and they're down to 3.5 here right now. Not a huge move, but the line service sends it out nonetheless. As Notre Dame's on the move, it's clearly on the move. There's a lot of moves right now, but this is a little bit of steam here at plus 3.5 now with Notre Dame, and just seconds before that, it was another move here in early action, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, with Cal and Virginia Tech. Steam to the over in this one with Cal and Virginia Tech. It was 140, and now we're up to want to call it right now 141 here at Circa. We're going to get more moves. I have a feeling here momentarily. This board is lit up red right now with the sharps moving the lines, and that's why you're joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. We'll give you all those line moves as we go out throughout the couple of hours here that I'm with you. All right, a few more in the chat. Don't forget to use that promo code Steam, and if you miss the address, like I said, when you click on it, it comes up. If you go to the Winnable page and you click on that monthly subscription, right, and it comes up, you just click on the Apple Pay, and it looks just like you're going to do it, like you're ordering your Taco Bell, right? You click it and you pay it, and you got my my phone number's on there, but it doesn't matter. If you subscribe, you get my email address and phone number. You can whine to me if I have some bad plays or not enough plays. Some were saying there as I went a little bit dark here on a couple of the cards recently, but again, we want to be selective here. Nobody gives out more volume than I do, so hopefully we'll have the winners coming back here today. I've got a 5-pack up there right now and a 4-pack in the Champions League. All right, appreciate that. Let's say hello to a few more folks in the chat who's here with Fernando. He's ready to go. Remember, we're in the second leg. I know Fernando knows that, but how will that result? Barcelona leads Benfica 1-0. Bayern Munich leads Leverkusen 3-0. Inter leads Feyenoord 2-0. I lost with Feyenoord in the first leg of that game. Will I come back on them today? And Liverpool leads PSG. Hey, you know what? Well, I was watching this morning. if you guys saw it, I don't know if Manchester United, of course, you may have heard, but I watched a press conference a few hours ago with Manchester United. 100,000 seat stadium. It's a done deal. I don't know. There's not shovels in the ground just yet, but they seem pretty serious about it. They like to keep Old Trafford, but when you can build one of these beautiful new fangled stadiums for one of the most storied franchises, looks like they're going to do that rather than spend more money on Old Trafford, and they're going to have state of the art there. They want to be like London and Manchester United. So it's going to be awesome. It was a beautiful presentation. Look at all these Notre Dame folks already here. We're going to preview it, guys. We don't need to fire away, but it looks like, well, NYC Bar is already on there twice. But nonetheless, a couple of Thomas liked them too. So, and look at that, Fernando. He doesn't know why they need a new state. Yeah, you know what? Give them a new state. You're right. I mean, we've kind of whined about Manchester United not being the old Manchester United, but sometimes those stadiums, though, too, can help your franchise. I know, coming from a city that never wants to build any good stadiums. All right. That's it for the chat, I think, right now. Man, no Champions League from you guys. Well, I'll fire away here on a few games here. I'll wait. You guys might have something still. We'll get rolling with the show here with our games today, but certainly some very, very good games there. And we saw, man, plenty of action in the NFL. Look, it's not our job to, go through all these moves here necessarily right now, but man, could you believe the some of the deals there and what's going on in the in NFL off-season news here? So, all right, some great games last night though in college basketball. Troy over Arkansas State, and the Trojans are in the tournament with the Sun Belt win last night for the first time in 7 years. SoCon Wofford, they are in for the first time in 5 years here, 6 years, with their win over Furman. Wofford crushed them in the end, outscored them 13-2 in the last 2:30 of the game. And of course, we saw in the Coastal, we'll get to the preview of that game. Delaware with the win over Towson. Delaware, one of the stories here for sure. And then Wilmington with that 1-point win in the game yesterday over Charleston. Robert Morris's win was an overtime game. And yes, Thomas, Youngstown over Cleveland State, 56-54. They couldn't make any free throws, but it didn't matter as Youngstown wins again, and Robert Morris and Youngstown will play here. We'll talk about it. All right, let's go to the games and get ready. Well, no, let's go to a couple of moves here real quick. We've got some action coming in, steam coming in right now with, let's get it, Syracuse and Florida State. This one is seeing some steam right here to the under right now. Wonder who's got that play already locked and loaded. It was 152, and we're seeing some steam here. So maybe some experts were already on this game. It's down to 151. It was 153. It's down to 151 and a half here right now. Some steam to the under with Syracuse and Florida State. And just moments ago in the NHL, a steam move here, Colorado and Minnesota. Steam to the under here right now, and I was going to pick that as my play. Maybe I'll switch it up there, and steam to the under, let's just call it. I may give out a double play in that game. Colorado and Minnesota, steam to the under. All right, appreciate that. Let's get rolling with our previews here. And like I said, we're going to just touch on the day games only in the major conferences here, and then the games that start after Mikey comes on. He probably, he won't you know how he does it. He'll have a few plays, but we're going to let him have at it. We can't preview every first round game, or could we? All right, let's go to the action here right now with first game. Will go to the top of the board, if you will, with Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. Cincinnati here, a 6-point favorite against Oklahoma State. This one's tricky because these type of favorites do not win or in the opening rounds of the Big 12 tournament. This is a real bugaboo, actually, in the Big 12. This is a totally underdog spot, usually, not just this game, but just in general with these Power Five, with this particular Power Five game. We're previewing the Power Fives here today, these two conferences. But just to be clear, here in the Big 12, these early favorites, these mid favorites, anything from 4 points to 9.5 points right now over the last 8 years, just 15 and 23 against the spread for favorites between 4 points and 9.5 points in the Big 12, and also underdogs in the opening round of the Big 12 have currently covered 14 of the last 17 games in first round play in the Big 12. Now, Cincinnati was a big disappointment this year for sure. They're even the lower seed here, or the higher seed if you want to play it that way. Nonetheless, it's the 13th seeded Bearcats coming in here with a losing streak for sure. 3 games, and Oklahoma State coming in off of a win here against Cincinnati. So that's also the tricky part, because these two teams met back on March 8th, and now they're coming right back here to play one another. Oklahoma State won that game 78-67 as a dog. So again, you might gravitate towards Cincinnati to come back and get that revenge, but they're laying points in a conference where laying points in the opening round just doesn't really work out. So let's go to the chat and see maybe what you have in this one. Oklahoma State is just 7-12, though, as an underdog here. Cincinnati's a big time under this season. They're 10-21 to the under, but late in the season they started to go over for sure. 7 of their last 10 games went over. However, they are just 6-16 to the under as a favorite. And even though Oklahoma State was an over team, slightly over this year, they were just 9-10 to the under as a dog. So let's go to the chat right now on this one. Cincinnati and Oklahoma State here on the Morning Steam Show. All right, chat, here we go. It's going to be, James Avery's got a pick in soccer. Under in Inter and Feyenoord. Let me take a peek here and see what oh boy, okay, James, I'm down with you. I'm down with James in this one. I've got that one as well. Give me the under with James in Inter Milan and Feyenoord. All right. Just moments ago, some college basketball steam. We already talked about the Notre Dame steam that came in, and now the under is being steamed in that game. It was 137.5, but we're down to 136.5 here with Pittsburgh and Notre Dame. Also, Central Florida and Utah steam to the over there with Central Florida and Utah. I will note, because we're not going to get to the preview of that game here. We're in the Big 12 right now talking about it with Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. But Central Florida, this will kind of be the preview of the game. Central Florida and Utah getting steamed right now to the over, and this one is headed up north of 157.5 right now. Big move on one of the highest totals, maybe the highest total of the day, not only the Big 12, but any of the games, right? And Big 12 totals of 147 or higher have gone 15-5 to the under over the last 11 years in the Big 12 tournament. So it doesn't happen too often that they get up even this high, but they usually end up going under when that happens. Still, we're seeing this one move to the over here. All right. Here we go. A lot of when the game, it's usually when the game is close in the Big 12, it goes under in the Big 12 tournaments when it's like a spread of 3.5 or less. All right, here we go. Bearcats for Cash Kane. Too many points, says Nuke. You gotta. Oh, he's talking about that Central Florida game there. New York City VAR is on Oklahoma State here, plus those points. And Nuke says it's too many. Andrew G. Hello, good morning to Andrew G. Oldie here today as well. Okay. Gravy, good morning and hello. All right, I'm on the under here in this one with Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. For me, it's mostly about Cincinnati. It feels like, like I said, 10-21 to the under this season, 6-16 to the under as a favorite. All right, not much else from you guys in this one. So give me the under here with Cincinnati and Oklahoma State. And we'll go to next up. Colorado and TCU here. Evenly matched game with TCU favored by 2. And the total here, 133.5. This one's actually up to 2.5 here now at most spots. We've seen a move here to TCU and maybe a little bit to the under here in this one. Take a look at some of the numbers here with these two, with TCU coming in, the 9 seed here in the tournament. Colorado pretty much down there at the bottom, but still both teams kind of struggled here down the stretch. With TCU losing their last 2 games of the season as short dogs. They did cover against Baylor, and they lost to Colorado by 20 points as a 2.5-point dog. Colorado just 7-12 against the spread as an underdog. For TCU, though, they're just 6-9 against the spread as a favorite. Little more tournament steam here right now. We got to touch on some of these because we're not going to get to all the games. For example, in the MAAC first round, steam right now on Siena. They were a 3-point favorite. They're going up to 3.5 here right now. 4 at Bet Online. So 4 here for Siena. A little bit of steam here on the Saints in their game today against Ryder here on the morning steam. All right, we're talking about the one here, though, between Colorado and TCU. The 2 teams met on March 8th. Colorado won it by 20. They covered 2.5 in that one. Let's see what you guys have here in the chat. These 2 teams are hardcore under teams for sure all season long. It still feels like, I don't know, I'm more apt to maybe consider this one here. The move came in early on the over, but it seems like all under of late. And if you look at what these 2 teams did this season, you'd probably think under, right? TCU 10-20 to the under this season, including 5-9 to the under as a favorite. Colorado, meanwhile, 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10 games, and also 12-17 to the under overall. Little quick move came in here just moments ago on the Carolina Hurricanes. A little bit of steam in hockey today. Carolina was $1.25, but they're going higher here right now. Carolina Hurricanes and their matchup with Tampa Bay. Pretty good matchup tonight on this card with good matchups. And right now, Carolina's up to $1.35 here at a couple of books, including the one here at the Green Valley Ranch, the station's casino just south of me here, where I go pick up a pizza rock. All right. Give me your play here with the Colorado and TCU in this one. I got to kind of agree with what I see from the trends here pretty much. And like I said, the Sharps were on the over early. Maybe it was a head fake because they've clearly started to push this one lower, it feels like right now. So I'll go to the chat here, though, and see what you guys have to say with Colorado and TCU before I make my pick. All right, here we're going to go with James Avery here says TCU. James and I are on that total in the Champions League with Feyenoord and Inter Milan. Thomas is on TCU. Spoons is on TCU. I can see where this is going. We're 4-0 for TCU. Cash Kane, TCU. It's all TCU, and Thomas says it's a consensus play. Spoons is trying to settle everybody down, says Colorado is a good team at home, but you got to worry about everybody else. Nuke says, look, they're number 16 seed for a reason here, it feels like.
Steam play.
And Gravy's going to be there, it looks like today. We've got some steam coming in right now in some conference tournament action. The game between Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Steam to the under in this one with Gonzaga and St. Mary's in the West Coast Conference Championship game right now. The line is on the move. It was 137.5. We're down to 136 right now in the West Coast Conference Championship game. Steam to the under. Gonzaga and St. Mary's. We'll preview it. TCU for video assisted replay. Man, look at, I mean, have you ever seen such a consensus by the chat here? Wow, TCU all over it, folks. And yeah, like we said, the line here, definitely 2.5 here right now. Gone, it went up from 1.5. So
Steam play.
hey, more steam coming in right now. Kansas State, we're not going to, it's the next game on the board, but we're going to probably move on to the ACC, though, in just a moment. But we'll talk about this right now with Kansas State here taking the steam. It was 5.5. Now it's 6.5 here at some books. And the total's moving in as well in the Arizona State, Kansas State game. Steam coming in on the over here in that one between Arizona State and Kansas State. Ooh, that, man, maybe I'll just give it out right here, right now in that game because let me make sure here. Let me look at it. I said I'd leave Mikey some of the games, but maybe I can't pass here right now because this one's on the move, and I kind of want to get this one out, but let me just temper it a little bit here. Let me just read the steam as it is right now with Kansas State moved from 5.5 to 6.5, and also steam to the over here. 142 has become 143.5. We'll just leave it at that for now. I'll probably have the play delivered here on my premium picks. 143 at Bet Online right now, 142.5 at a lot of other spots. Circa's kind of holding the line here. They're not willing to move the line just yet in the Kansas State, Arizona State game, that total. So many of you on that TCU Nasty Nate likes the Celtics in the second quarter. All right, I think that's going to do it for the Big 12. Like I said, Mike, you'll have picks here today. Not on all the games, but we'll leave it to him to cover some of these games tonight. You know, of a handful of plays in college basketball. So hopefully that'll be enough to satisfy you guys here. We've already talked about some steam in those other two games: Arizona State, Kansas State, and Central Florida and Utah. Let's go to the ACC and talk about the day games there, the early games here, the ones that come on before pre-gaming. All right. Pittsburgh and Notre Dame in this one. You've got Pittsburgh here. We just said that's not the line because we already said the steam just came in here a little while ago, a short time ago. Although I will say this, I am seeing mostly fours out there right now. The steam did come in on Notre Dame and it came in on the under for sure here, at least down to 136. But I'm still showing the line 4 pretty much for Pittsburgh here in this one. You got the 12-seeded Irish and the 13th seed Pitt. Got a little hockey steam here real quick if I can report this to you. The Florida Panthers are on the move this morning, taking steam in their matchup on the road against the Boston Bruins. They were 2-15, but right now the Florida Panthers are going north of 225 or higher here in their matchup on the road against the Bruins. Florida up to 230 right now at Bovada, and 240 starting to appear as well at some of the books. The sharp books are still hanging tight a little bit, but it looks like Florida's taking the action here right now on the morning steam. Okay, Pittsburgh did win their last game to snap their losing streak coming in to this one. You know, Pitt, some folks may, say that they're a bit underrated here. They were playing some tough teams there down the stretch, but they weren't doing anything. They've been really kind of dreadful against the spread overall. Pittsburgh just 2-7-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, 10-13 against the spread as a favorite. For Notre Dame, not so good down the stretch either, with just a 3-7 record ATS, but they did win their final 2 games against Cal and Stanford at home, and the Irish did win the last meeting between the two teams at home. 76-72 was the only meeting between the two teams this season. Let's go to your picks here in the ACC between Pittsburgh and Notre Dame. Opening round favorites in the ACC over the last 8 years are 62.5% against the spread. Here, we know there's usually only 2 or 3 games in years past, so they've only played 24 games in that time frame in the opening round, as we call it here in the ACC, but 15-9 against the spread are opening round favorites. They're also 22-2 straight up. Go to the chat here in this one and see what you got. Pittsburgh's gone under in 7 of their last 10 games, but they are 14-9 to the over as a favorite. All right, chat, it's on you here. Let's see what we got. Going to go with Pittsburgh for Cash Kane. Thomas Lewis is on Notre Dame. Art Thompson is on Pitt. Justin says sports money is money, and he's got Pitt. -3.5. Redbeard on Pitt. Roberts on Pitt. Jerry says, I'm going with Pitt, fading them off that overtime matchup. Roberts going under in the game. Justin went with Cincinnati back in that other game, kind of bucking those trends for sure. But, man, it does seem like if one favorite here could rarely get it done in the Big 12. I don't know about Oklahoma State. So I might be with him on that one. All right, I think that's it from you guys in the chat in this one. So I guess I got to make my call here with Pittsburgh and Notre Dame. All right. And for me, I got to roll with that steam, and I got to take the under here in this one with Pittsburgh and Notre Dame. Give me the under. All right, next up in the ACC, it is the Cal Bears taking on Virginia Tech at 4:30 Eastern and 1:30 Pacific. We already said the steam came a rolling in just a few moments ago on the over in this game. Now there are some trends that might point to Cal here a little bit. I'm sorry, the under some trends with Cal that kind of may point to the under. I'll kind of touch on some of those, but nonetheless, Cal is a favorite here by three, maybe 3.5 right now total, 140 ish. In this one. Okay, let's take a look here at some of the numbers because both teams come in here on 2-game losing streaks, respectively. For Cal, they lost to Notre Dame and they lost to Louisville. They did get the money in that matchup with Notre Dame. For Virginia Tech, consecutive losses to Clemson and and UNC. They were blown out in both of those. For Cal, look, and Stanford too. This is new territory, so not really looking at too many of their uh, conference tournament trends, if you know what I mean, with those teams coming from the pack last year. So, new territory here. We're in Charlotte, of course, with the ACC. So, how will these West Coast teams fare? Let's go to the chat, see if you have any picks here in this one. All right. Here we go with Gravy hit Robert Morris there, he says. Here's Redbeard says Virginia Tech on the money line. Jerry Davis had Oklahoma State back in that first game. Thank you. And Spoons says Cal. Says that he says that what Cal did here basically was to stay there, right? They were on the road, of course, at Louisville and Notre Dame, and no reason to go back to the West Coast. So they played it. They played their hand a little bit. Okay, Cal for Thomas. Robert, Virginia Tech, and over here. Jerry's on Virginia Tech, and James Parm is on the over. Cal 10-4 to the over as a favorite, but Virginia Tech 7-14 to the under as a dog. All right, the teams met back on January 11th. Virginia Tech got the money. They were an underdog in that game. Let's see. They were a 7-point dog, won that game 71-68. All right. I know the Sharps are all over Cal here in this one, and I'm going to take the Cal Bears as my pick here in the ACC first round game with Virginia Tech. All right, let's keep it moving here. That's it for me in the ACC. We know there's a late game there. We did talk about it with that steam that came in on Syracuse and Florida State. And I think I even tipped my high roller play there. And Aubrey says, Cal, tough record on the road, straight up. They did not have an enjoyable year this year, just 2-11. Virginia Tech, meanwhile, 8-9 there on the road, or maybe 5-5 there in conference play. I think that's what Aubrey has there. Thank you, Aubrey. Great to have Aubrey doing a great job for us with the chat all stars. All right, so that's it for me in the ACC. Also, action today. We're not going to cover it just yet. First round games in the MAAC and Conference USA. If you want my Conference USA picks, please consider going over to winnable.com. I have my picks in both Conference USA games there today, this afternoon. Also, the WAC gets underway today as well. Okay, here we go. I gotta put these emojis up there. I don't even know what it means, but looks fun. Okay, here we go. Now let's get to some championship games here for sure, right? With the Coastal, Delaware, and Wilmington. In this one, Delaware, they're only 9-13 in conference play. They're in the final here. What a effort by the Blue Hens coming into this one. And the line here, look at this. With Wilmington, 8.5. The total 148.5 here right now. In this one, it's going to move to the under here for sure with Delaware and NC Wilmington. In fact, the widely reported Steam did come in on the under, but it was overnight play for sure. Came in well there yesterday. A long time ago, is what I mean to say. For Delaware here, they're the 12 seed, 16-19 overall coming into this one. Before the tournament, they were 1-11 straight up in their final 12 games of the season. Well, now they've won 4 nights in a row, and they're averaging 85 points a game. You couldn't tell the difference between them and second-ranked Wilmington here, who's on fire coming into this one on a long winning streak. They didn't cover in the last game against Charleston, winning last night just 68 to 67. In that, as I think I mentioned that game, the Seahawks led at halftime 40-30, and Charleston they did look pretty good. They were making their threes, but Wilmington found a way to get that win. And Delaware here, they sure did look good. They were posting up on Towson, and they made it look good there to get the upset win. All that, they keep those 5 guys pretty much on the floor the whole time. It felt like. Now Wilmington, if they can get inside, they should be able to dominate, but Delaware's been pretty great here. Wilmington 16-4 in conference play coming in. They've won 5 in a row and 14 of their last 16. Now, they were comfortably ahead there against Charlotte, against Charleston yesterday for a while. And then, like I said, Charleston kind of came back and made a game of it. But they have a really balanced lineup. Many guys get in there. They have a lot of depth, no doubt about it. For Wilmington, they're trying to win this tournament for the first time in 8 years. Wilmington won both matchups this season and covered the spread in both, 77-67 back in February at Delaware. They won by 10. They were favored by 7, and then they won by 30 points at home back on March 1st. But things have changed a little bit. The fortunes have changed for Delaware. Not much from the chat, but Cash Kane likes Wilmington. And he says it might be time's up. Jerry says he likes the over in this one between Delaware and Wilmington. Good. The value play here for sure is on the over there for Jerry. New York City Bar likes Delaware plus the points. Or Robert likes the under, however. All right, I better make my call here. Oh, we got one more here. What do we got? J-Dub's here. He says Wilmington rolls. and Delaware will finally kind of cool down a little bit. It feels like, well, I've got Wilmington to win this tournament here. This Delaware team has been so special right now. I can't believe how strong they've been in getting to this position. I think that's it from you guys in the chat here. I'm going to take Delaware plus these points today. Just been a good story. And in this conference, I'm not sure that a blowout is going to be on the books here necessarily, despite this awesome, as bad as Delaware was down the stretch. They've got a lot better here of late. JW Wilmington first half. Okay, I'll take. I'm gonna take Delaware here plus points. I got Wilmington in the picks to win the whole tournament there at the beginning of the tournament, but I'm going to take Delaware to cover at least today. Not a hedge. Just feel like this Delaware roll is pretty awesome. Okay, next up, we got to go to Thomas's game here with Youngstown and Robert Morris in the horizon. Robert Morris is the feel good. Well, I don't know, but they're kind of actually the public favorite at this point. They're like the public darlings, it feels like here at this point. Everybody's humping up. What do they say on Robert Morris here? And their winning streak. Now, Youngstown with these nice wins here for sure over Cleveland, over Fort Wayne, doing a nice job. They've been a good cover this season. Youngstown here, a mediocre cover, I should say, but of late, definitely a good role here. Remember, they also beat Green Bay there late in the season. They were failing to cover there late in the season, but Robert Morris is one of the best spread teams in the country. 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, 25-7 against the spread. Overall this year, 14-5 against the spread as a favorite. For Bobby Morris, they've won 9 in a row and 15 of their last 16. The Colonials won that game over Oakland last night in overtime. They were down 13 points in the second half and had to rally with their guys. They never left the floor either. They had 4 guys play 35 minutes pretty much in that game. The Colonials do have a great defense, no doubt the best shooting defense in the league. Bobby Morris trying to make it back to the NCAAs for the first time in 9 years, believe it or not. Remember when Robert Morris would make it a couple years in a row. The road team won both meetings during the season and got the money. Bobby Morris won 72-70 back in January as a 3-point dog, but Youngstown won at Robert Morris by 14 points on the road as a 1.5-point dog. For Youngstown, they've won now 7 of their last 9, including that little winning streak. So got to give them a little bit of credit here, even though they had lost those games down the stretch. They still ended up with a pretty good run here. They lost to Northern Kentucky and Milwaukee. They just weren't covering the spread, but they did win 7 of their last 9 down the stretch. Youngstown in their win yesterday. Oh gosh, what was it now? I'm thinking here. 56-54. Oh yeah, we had the under on the show. Now I remember. But that thing was a slow pace. In fact, there were just 59 possessions in the game that led to those 110 points. So let's take a look here at your comments here. Youngstown, they like to shoot a lot of threes. They're just not very good at making them. That's not a good recipe, but they're here in this game. And let's see what you guys have here. Find it here. The Thomas is going with Youngstown. And Spoon says, kind of adds up for Youngstown here, maybe in some of these, but it's just so hard to fade this team right now. This uh, Robert Morris team, the University of Pittsburgh Airport. Here's Bobby Morris for Nuke. NYC Bar says that was great defense last night. And Robert McCormick's going with Youngstown here. How about it? All right. I'm going to make my call here in this one. And I'm going with the under here. You talked about that slow pace with Youngstown. And yeah, there are some numbers that will show that maybe Robert Morris here have produced definitely some overs here historically in their games in conference play. And maybe just the scenario here may favor the over. But I think that deliberate pace is just a little bit too much here. Robert Morris, make no mistake, conference tournament over the last 3 seasons, almost all overs. Actually, 9 of their last 10 have been over this total anyway. JW says Robert Morris to roll. All right, my play is going to be on the under. I like this one as a premium, and I'm all right. I kind of want to just go with it right now and just say Robert Morris and go with I don't have a double play, so give me Robert Morris in the under. I'm going with a double play. I've been doing well on those. I keep forgetting to do them. And give me Robert Morris and the under. I'm doing it. And Jerry Davis says these guys have been money all year. Well, Robert Morris, for sure. There's no doubt. All right, that's it for those 2 championship games. There's also semifinals. Look, love to do them all. Semifinals in the Big Sky, semifinals in the America East. We'll cover their championship games. Mikey may have something as well. Semifinals in the Southland Conference today. So I'll have picks in those conferences with some premiums. So please consider going over to winnable.com. All right, one more here in the championship games with 2 more actually. Let me have them in order of Vegas rotation here. So let me just keep in that form. We're going to preview also St. Francis and Central Connecticut. It is a 7 p.m. start, and this one's a 9 p.m. start. But we got to talk about Gonzaga and St. Mary's back again. Hey, it's not a championship game without Gonzaga and St. Mary's at the Orleans Arena here in Las Vegas. Look, Gonzaga doesn't always win the West Coast Conference tournament. I remember, it must have been 20 years ago when I was in a hotel room in Tijuana with someone, and I was watching University of San Diego one time beat Gonzaga. Okay. Oh, was I talking about hotel rooms in Tijuana? Okay. Gonzaga and St. Mary's here with Gonzaga having won 8 of their last 9 coming into this one. They're not good in close games this season. Believe it or not, Gonzaga has some pretty bad number. They don't win close games. Maybe that makes sense because all of their losses have been by 8 or fewer points, but they either blow you out or they lose. That's what they do. And so here, how can you trust them as a 3-point favorite? Gonzaga was just 2-8 straight up in games decided by 8 points or less. They only lost 8 games all season. They don't get blown out. We get it. But in close games, they also did not win those games that were decided were close games. And this looks like a close game. It's Gonzaga and St. Mary's. St. Mary's is the number 1 seed. We know, you know that, I know that. Gonzaga, it feels like they're on their reputation here to me, doesn't it? Now, St. Mary's was my pick to win this conference tournament, so I can't fade them at this point. I'm on the record publicly with St. Mary's, so I'm not going to go with them as a premium. I'm not going to go with them as I'm just going to get them out right here. I'm already on the record publicly with St. Mary's to win this conference tournament. So why wouldn't I take 3.5 points? I'm already on them on the money line, technically. So I've got St. Mary's. So did I finish? Did I even not finish the preview here? All right, here we go. Gonzaga's won 10 of the last 12 conference tournament title games, but St. Mary's is awesome too, and they have the longer winning streak coming into this one. Hey, Alabama A&M's getting steamed here real quick in their first round game against Grambling. Alabama A&M was a 5.5 point dog. It's down to 4.5 here right now with Alabama A&M taking the steam here on the Morning Steam Show. St. Mary's has won 8 in a row, 18 of their last 19. They didn't look that good. Actually, in the game against Pepperdine. They didn't shoot well at all. But when you're the best rebounding team in the country, like St. Mary's is, or 1, 2, 3, whatever they are this week, they're one of the top rebounding teams in the country. They don't, stop you from shooting inside, certainly, but both teams are in the NCAA tournament. We know that. And that was the comment by one of our, maybe you guys are commenting about it again, right? St. Mary's is already in, so why wouldn't Gonzaga just win again in the tournament they always win? St. Mary's already beat Gonzaga twice this season, and there's some cliches about beating teams 3 times, but you know what? Gonzaga has beaten up on St. Mary's for so long. It's kind of like St. Mary's was the, little, can I say little sister, or I don't know, but Gales have now won 4 out of the last 5 in the series. Let's go to the chat and see what you have in this one. St. Mary's and Gonzaga. St. Mary's have been, Australian national team practically every year too. All right, here we go in the chat with stay up late with this one.
System play.
Here we go. All right, I got to go back a little bit here. Cash Kane on the Zags here on the money line. Jerry Davis was talking about he's going to hedge there in his Horizon plays. Robert's on St. Mary's here. Duke says the whole world will be on the Zags here. They won't even look at the history here. They'll just say Zags. I mean, come on. It's the West Coast Conference championship game. Cash Kane says it's hard to beat the Zags 3 times. Robert's on the under. The kennel travels, but St. Mary's has a great fan base too and shouldn't be overlooked. Duke says, you know what? Yeah, it's not the Zags of years past.
Steam play.
Thomas on St. Mary's here. Nicholls State is getting steamed right now, everybody. Nicholls State in the game against Lamar today. We're seeing some steam coming in here. Nicholls State was a 2-point dog. Nicholls State here right now could be moving to the favorite. Pavada has moved them to the favorite right now by 1 point. They were a 2-point dog overnight, but right now Nicholls State has moved to the favorite against Lamar. Lamar's already in there. They got the bye to the semifinals. Nicholls had to play to get this point as well as Nicholls has played. Justin's on Gonzaga. Robert says St. Mary's has been doing well here in this tournament. I'm already on them. I can't turn back now. College Station thinks it was a consensus play on the over. I don't know if was anybody really going. I didn't see any totals there. Robert's on the under. And Jerry says when I watch it, I still kind of see the old Gonzaga a little bit, or just the same thing we've seen from Gonzaga. Maybe they're peaking here at this point. Okay, and I think that's it. I think that's it for you guys. No consensus there, back and forth. Great, should be a great one in the West Coast Conference tonight. And I've got St. Mary's to win the West Coast Conference tournament. Okay, one more tournament championship game that we got to talk about here, and that'll be it for me on these. Like I said, we got a bunch of other games, but I think we previewed the best. All right, St. Francis is taking on Central Connecticut here in the Northeast Conference championship game. All right.
Steam playing.
A little bit of steam coming in here. Let me check it and see what we got. Vermont is getting steam. We're covering some other tournament coverage here. We're not getting it all, but America East semifinal, Vermont getting steamed right now. They were a 4-point favorite. They're up to a 5-point favorite. Vermont taking that steam in their game against Maine here tonight. Vermont taking that steam. All right, St. Francis here and Central Connecticut. Not saying I'm some genius or something, but I'm on the record taking Central Connecticut to win this tournament before it started. Wasn't the hardest choice in the world here as the number 1 seed and a great record this season for Central Connecticut. But they're a big 10-point favorite, that's for sure here. The total 134.
System playing.
In this one right now. 134.5. Could be down to 9.5 here in a few spots. St. Francis comes in also with a winning streak, however, and they're covering like nobody's business pretty much. They win over Long Island last time out to get here. 71. 268, also beat Wagner 58-55. Barely got that money in their other tournament game for Central Connecticut here. They won their last 2 tournament games over FDU and Lemoyne, but they didn't cover. Laying big numbers did not cover here, and we'll see, can they get the money in this one, laying a big number here to St. Francis. The 2 teams met back on February 15th, and it was Central Connecticut winning and covering 83-67. Also, they won at St. Francis back in January. 74-59 as they got that money as a 5.5-point favorite in that one. So what are you going to do here with St. Francis and Central Connecticut in the conference tournament final? All right. Well, look, I'm on Central Connecticut to win this conference tournament, and St. Francis has had a nice run, but Central Connecticut does kind of own this matchup. Maybe the number's a little bit high. I kind of want to take this one. Let me take the under here in this one with St. Francis and Central Connecticut. I know I'm hemming and hawing here. Probably, I think Central Connecticut could get this number. I may use it as a premium, believe it or not. I'm going to take the under as my play here on the show. Here, I know that there are some indications that St. Francis, a big-time over team right now. Both teams have gone over in 8 of their last 10 games, but Central Connecticut, as a favorite, usually can keep the score a little bit under control. It is, after all, 134 here. That's not exactly high, but I'm gonna try the under here in this one. I can't read you the stats. Maybe here point to too many overs here. It feels like, but for me, I'll take the under in this championship game in the Northeast Conference, and I still want to take Central Connecticut and lay those points. I'm going to try another double play championship game here with Central Connecticut and the under. I'll take them both. I'm going to try a little parlay. Maybe I'll do a basketball teaser, since everybody gets all bent out of shape when you do basketball teasers and gets all mad and says don't tease basketball. All right. That's it. Let me go over your plays for this one. Thanks everybody for here. We've got Cash Kane on Central, JW's on St. Francis, and Andrew talking Aaron Rodgers. How about Justin Fields? Maybe he's the one for the Jets, huh? Cash Kane was talking that Vermont game. St. Francis can win, says Jerry R. Tom. St. Francis, Cash Kane on the over. Justin's with me on Central. So's Robert, and he likes the under. Robert and I are together on this one. And Spoon still talking about what we discussed there a little bit with talking about that game with Vermont. And again, the move, it's up to 5.5 here now at some spots. All right. NYC Bar may like the under as well. That's it for college basketball. Enjoy the day. We're just 2 hours away from our first tip off. And then, of course, I mean, come on. Everyone loves it, though, when we get all the big fives playing at the same time. Low key, right? I mean, everybody talks about, hey, they're going to Vegas, they're going for March Madness to watch the 4 games at one time. When I think it was a little bit crazier when all the conferences are playing. That feels like March Madness. Okay, this week, not the big dance. Still great. Okay, that's it. Let's go to the NBA tonight. There is just 4 games to look at here in the NBA with the Bucks and the Pacers here in this one. And look at this total. Through to the moon, Alice, here with the Bucks and the Pacers, now up to 235 here in this one. A time change. Oh man, I got this out of order now because I didn't know there was a time change. We'll stick with it. We'll go with the Vegas rotation order here. This one's been moved to 7:30 Eastern and 4:30 Pacific. I'm just noticing the other time change too for the Clippers and the Pelicans. I didn't know. I did not know. I did not know. You think I'm a know-it-all? But I did not know. All right, let's get to it here with the Bucks and the Pacers. Look, this total, like I said, through the roof here. It's already gone up 2 or 3 points in this one. Expecting the steam came in on the over here with the Bucks and the Pacers. Division matchup here, obviously. These two teams, man, they're kind of massive overs when they meet here. That's probably part of it, not to mention overall this season as well. When you talk about Indiana, 17-8 to the over as an underdog, and Milwaukee 26-19 to the over as a favorite. 14 out of the last 18 games between these two teams have gone over. Milwaukee's gone over in 4 of their last 5. Now, Indiana, to be fair, is going under here in 4 of their last 5 and 6 of their last 8 games, and also 5 of their last 6 games at home. Milwaukee just 13-8 against the spread on the road. Indiana 15-13 against the spread at home. Maybe that kind of points a little bit here to the Pacers, but yeah, I think in this one a little bit of injury activity to check on because you got Giannis. He's probable here tonight. Connaughton questionable. Livingston is out. Halliburton still questionable here in this one. Milwaukee has won both of the meetings so far this season and covered them both, one at home and one on the road. So let's see what you guys have here with Milwaukee and Indiana here tonight. Milwaukee just 3-7 against the spread. Their last 10 games on the road. Indiana 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games at home. Go to the chat here. Indiana has lost 3 straight to Chicago and those 2 games against Atlanta. But the Bucks have also lost 2 straight to Cleveland and Orlando. Thomas is on the Bucks. Robert's on the Bucks and the under. Cash Kane is on the Bucks. Charles Sharp is here, and he leaned to the Pacers. Thomas says Milwaukee's a consensus play. All right. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to go. Look, we got to play. We've got to play here in this one between Milwaukee and Indiana. The team Steam consensus is on the Milwaukee Bucks. I think blue here. Let's see. Well, Charles is on the over. Justin Bucks team total. All right. You guys are team Steam consensus here on the Bucks, and I'll just ride with you guys here. I wasn't sure one way or the other, so I gotta trust Team Steam in this one. I don't have to pick them all. Gosh, I only guarantee a play every game. It doesn't have to be my play. I'll tail the chat once in a while. All right, Textiles is ready for a big day today. And we'll keep going the NBA here. Wizards and Pistons, still going to keep an eye on the Pistons, of course. So they're the real deal, or a pretty good deal at this point. They're still favored massive here over the Wizards by 14. Boy, my, how times have changed here with 14.5 and 235. The Pistons won last time out in that game. Against the Portland Trailblazers, 119 to 112. They got the money there, held on to get the money in that one. For Washington here, things haven't been going too great, but they did beat Toronto a couple of games back, but Toronto came right back and handed them back the favor. Still, Washington has won 2 of their last 3 and 3 of their last 5 coming into this one. So hats off to Washington. They've also beaten Detroit in 7 of the last 10 meetings between the 2 teams and 15 of the last 21 between the 2. But that was then. This was now. 12 of the last 16 games between these 2 teams have gone under, including 5 of the last 6 games between the 2 teams. Detroit's gone under in 4 of their last 5 at home. They're 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games at home right now. Detroit 7-2-1 in their last 10 games against the spread. We'll go to the chat here and see what you guys have with Wizards and Detroit. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the 2 have gone under. And here we go. It's going to be AOD says, take DET. Here, Detroit. Take Detroit, says our Detroit correspondent, AOD. All right, not much from you guys in this barn burner, it feels like here. So maybe I can make the call in this one. Just checking to see what time the stock market's going to tank here. All right. For me, I've got to go over in this one. With Detroit and Washington. Yeah, Detroit's playing well, but I don't know if they're all about the defense necessarily. Granted, they did go under in that last game against Well, it might have been a push. Went under against the Warriors, went over against the Clips, and over against Utah. Maybe kind of a similar opponent to Washington, meaning bad. But all right, Washington 13 and 17 to the under on the road, but I'm going to go over here with Washington and Detroit. All right. Robert's going over there as well. And AOD, Pistons first quarter and third quarter. All right. And the second quarter. And the full game and first half. All right. Let's continue on here in the matchups in the NBA tonight with the Nets and the. Hey, they, you know, uh, oh, Nuke's still out there. This card's not anything special. All right. Cavs by 18 here in this one. They're rolling here. Cavs on a roll again. Can they get the money with this big number here? They haven't covered all the big numbers of late. In fact, they've kind of had some troubles. They failed to cover 15 and a half against Charlotte. They failed to cover 13 against Miami. They failed to cover 11 against Portland. Now, they did blow out Chicago and got the money in that one. And look, Brooklyn's still that team, it feels like, right? They've been a good cover for the most part, 19 and 3 or 19 and 13 against the spread on the road, 29 and 24 against the spread as an underdog. Cleveland's a great cover team no matter what. They are 41 and 22 against the spread, 37 and 21 against the spread as a favorite, 20 and 12 against the spread at home. Just all positive numbers here, but 18 against a team that does cover more often than not, for sure. All right. Brooklyn's gone over in 5 of their last 7 games overall. Long term this season, they've been an under, 24 and 30 to the under as a dog, but Cleveland 37 and 21 to the over as a favorite. At home here, Cleveland's gone over in 4 of their last 5 and 6 of their last 8 games overall, but Brooklyn's been going under, as I said, on the road. Brooklyn just 1 and 4 against the spread in their last 5 games on the road. Let's go to the chat here. Another awkward game with big points involved, but see what you got here in this one. Art Thompson likes those Nets plus the points. Robert's on the under here. I don't think I can disagree with either of those pretty much. I'm going to take a double play in the NBA. Give me the Nets and the under here today. Nets and under. Should have been doing 2 teamers. Hey, don't parlay unless you're hot. Okay, one more in the NBA tonight. And we've got the Clippers taking on the Pelicans here in this one. You know, the Clippers mascot kind of looks like a pelican. Anyway, Clippers come in here 35 and 29, a 7-point favorite, total 222 and a half. New Orleans is on a 4-game losing streak right now, but they did cover last time out against Memphis. We had New Orleans in that game, got the money. Clippers have won 3 straight. They got the money in 2 of them. They did not cover last time against Sacramento, and Kawhi hit that game-winning shot in overtime. But looked like they were never going to cover there as they got kind of, holding on to the lead, extending it, and the Kings kept coming back. Eventually they went to overtime. So Clippers here, 20 and 16 against the spread as a favorite. New Orleans 17 and 14 against the spread at home, but 19 and 29 against the spread as an underdog. But still, Clippers 12 and 20 against the spread on the road. So see what you guys here have in this one. Clippers and the Pelicans. The Pelicans have covered 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams in New Orleans, and New Orleans has covered 8 of the last 9 meetings between the teams overall. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two have gone under, and 5 of the last 7 meetings here in New Orleans have gone under. New Orleans, however, 18-13 to the over at home and 29-20 to the over as a dog. So, I don't know if those are the intersecting zeros that Mike's talking about, but it does feel like things are kind of crisscrossing here a little bit in this matchup with New Orleans and the Clippers. But I know who I've got to take. Now, the widely reported steam did come in on the Clippers here, but I've got the New Orleans Pelicans in this one. I think I'm using my premium here right now with New Orleans, but just not quite sure on the total just yet at 223 right now. And like I said, some of these trends are back and forth. I'm taking the Pelicans at home against the Clippers. Go to the chat, see if we got any plays here. Justin liked the over. I know what happened, Jerry. As soon as I mentioned it, it started to go down. Boom, again, just like that. I shouldn't have opened my big mouth because here we go again. I'm going to be buying more today and hoping one day it goes up. And you know what? If it tanks and all of a sudden the stock market loses 75% of its value and, I lose tens of thousands, you know what? We're screwed anyways, so who cares? Okay, here will be, I don't know how I went down a rabbit hole last night, but I was, maybe I was panicking and I was looking up how, comfort foods of the early 1900s and what people used to make when in the Depression with rabbits or squirrel stew. All right, here's Justin on the Clippers and Robert's on the Pelicans with me, and hopefully we'll be eating filet mignon and not um, hash can corned beef hash. Tom O'Reilly, corned beef hash. Charles Sharp is on the Pelicans here, and we're definitely down again here, losing by the second. All right, that's it for the NBA. Hopefully, not the best card, but all right, we've got hockey. We've got plenty of hockey, and we're going to cover it all here in the next hopefully 30 minutes or so and get on with our day. We're going to have some fun today. Don't forget Champions League, folks, here, and I might have a few more plays. If you don't, I'm going to give you one right now. So we got Cash Cane with the over, Red Beard, Sausage Egg McMuffin. Here, no egg for me on my Egg McMuffin. Now, I will have a side of egg, scrambled or folded or whatever, but just Sausage McMuffin for me. Okay, let's go to the ice here right now, and I'm going to take one more look at the Champions League here and try another play. Here, no one really was stepping up today, so I'm going to take the over in the game between Bayern Munich and Leverkusen. I'm going to take it at 2.5 over minus 140. You might consider 2 3/4 on that Asian handicap at minus $1.20, but I'm going to take the over 2.5 and lay the $1.40 with Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen today in that one. And I may come up with one more before the show's over. All right, let's go to the ice here with Columbus on the road, taking on the Devils here in this one. Look, Columbus, we already said, how weak they are on the road, or bad, if you will. At home, they absolutely are incredible. They're a totally money-making team at home this season, but this matchup isn't bad. The Sharps are already all over Cleveland, so much so that you've almost got to consider them here. I'm going to be on them. I got to be honest with you here. I'm going to be taking Columbus in this matchup against the Devils at plus $1.30 or so right now. the Devils are actually up to $1.65 here, so you can get $1.45. It feels like right now. I'm taking the Columbus Blue Jackets in this game as my pick here on the Morning Steam show. Yeah, the Blue Jackets are costing you a quarter of a unit, but they just beat the Rangers 7-3. They did lose to Florida and Tampa. Tough teams, no doubt, but remember they hammered the Red Wings few games back and back-to-back performances here. So they played pretty well here of late. They're just 11-18 on the road straight up. New Jersey 15-11 at home, but I'm going to take the Blue Jackets here today as a dog on the Morning Steam show. And we've got Cash Cane maybe here on the over. Andrew, ready for that soccer action? And Redbeard says, does Liverpool win? Hey, I've got my pick right now on the Liverpool game over at winnable.com. But I tell you this, my other pick is on the Liverpool game, and I've got the under here on the Morning Steam in the game between PSG and Liverpool. I'm going under in that one, under 3 at even money in the game between Liverpool and PSG. All right, those are probably my picks here on the show in the Champions League today. Let's keep it going on the ice right now as continue to watch our money disappear into the abyss of the world of finance in stock market land. All right. Golden Knights and Penguins here in this one. Big number here. Golden Knights on the road. -$2 in this one. Maybe not quite 210 here. Seems to have gone down a little bit with the Penguins here in this one. And you wonder, 6.5 here. Is that right? I think they're mostly sixes right now. Well, I guess we can call it 6.5, but we'd have to juice it up a little bit here, it seems, in this one. But still, nonetheless, you've got Pittsburgh here at home in pretty bad shape for sure, not playing too well, but they did win last time out to stop that losing streak. They beat Minnesota 3-1 in a game that I was like, hey, how can Minnesota right now lose to this one? And, the line kind of was one of those that said, obviously take Pittsburgh. The Sharps were on it and whatever. So bad call in that one. For Carolina here, or I'm sorry, for the Golden Knights here, they were on a roll and then lost at home to the Kings in that wild game, right? The Kings got out to a big lead, but the Knights kept coming back. Eventually it was 6-5. The Kings ended up winning that game, but now here you've got BGK having to head out on the road after a long homestand and kicking it off here in Pittsburgh tonight. And let's see if you guys have anything here in this one on the chat. Big number, and Vegas isn't necessarily they're a break-even team on the road. Let's be clear, and also, for as bad as Pittsburgh has been, they're actually a break-even team at home. So I think the line's probably, maybe a quarter too high, it feels like. Vegas has won 7 of their last 9 and 4 of their last 5 overall. Pittsburgh's dropped 9 of their last 12. Make no mistake about it. It hasn't been great for sure, but they are 26-24 as a puck line underdog. Golden Knights 28-23 as a puck line favorite. Pittsburgh has defeated Vegas in 5 of the last 6 meetings at home between the two teams. So probably going to find my way to the Pens here in this one on the puck line. I'll take them. Got to lay a little bit for sure. Doesn't even feel that comfortable at $1.45, but I'm going to take Pittsburgh here on the puck line against the Golden Knights. Give me them plus the 1.5 here and see what you guys have in this one. Here's New Jersey back in that other game. Thank you, Cash Cane. Here's Penguins for Cash Cane. And there's Jerry there. I'm tilting it. I'm tilting Jerry here at this point with these stock comments. And let's see here. Cash King says BGK. Redbeard's on the under here. And Jerry, yeah, Jerry, I got to go back to work. We got to go back to work now. I don't know. This is my job here, the morning steam. And I'm going to have to start, really pushing the touting here. All right. Cash Cane on the under as well here. All right. Thanks, guys. Good picks here in this one. Let's move on. Next up, Panthers and Bruins. We got another $2 favorite here on the road. We said the Panthers were getting steamed a little bit here on while we were on the air, and they're 230 at DraftKings, 230 at Bovada. I listed 220 there on screen. That should be good enough at least here to get the preview started with the Red Hot Panthers coming in on a winning streak for sure. Right now, this winning streak for Florida here stands currently at 6 games. They've also won 11 of their last 13 and 15 of their last 21 overall. For Boston here, they've lost 8 of their last 11. Florida's gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. Boston's gone under in 8 of their last 11 games coming into this one. Florida's won 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams, but on the road, Florida 7-2 at Boston in their last 9 games overall. And looking at the puck line, Boston 20-13 as a puck line dog. Florida just 24-27 as a puck line favorite. Florida here with wins of late over Buffalo and Columbus. For Boston, they beat Tampa last time out 4-0 to snap a 3-game losing streak. Boston is 19-14 to the over as an underdog. See what you guys have here in this one with the Panthers and the Bruins. I'm going to the chat to see what they like. And we've got, looks like Bruins here for Cash Kane. Redbeard says Bruins team total under. Nasty Nate says the Bruins will smash. Iris King loves his hockey. All right, Florida's been going under. Boston's been going under for sure. Can I mess around with the puck line? Not much consensus work, it seems like here. So, man, I want to try Boston here, though, on this puck line, it feels like. All right, what is it? It's minus $1.40. Yeah, $1.45 or so there. Give me the under. I can't do it. I'm going to take the under here with Florida and Boston. All right. Irish Kings on Florida. Roberts on Florida as well. Okay. Good thing I didn't. Yeah, I'm going to take the under. Give me the under. Senators and Flyers here with the Senators on the road. $1.20 in this one. On the you've got here the Senators 3-game win streak here right now, and just favored $1.20 against this Philadelphia team that's lost 4 in a row all of a sudden. Philly with losses to New Jersey, Seattle, Winnipeg, Calgary, all at home. It's been a disaster for the Flyers here of late. Still, If they weren't on a 4-game losing streak, I'd imagine they would have been favored beforehand, but not anymore. With Ottawa coming in here, 3-game winning streak, 1-goal victories in all those games. Detroit, Rangers, and the Blackhawks. Ottawa's won 4 of their last 5. Philadelphia's lost 5 of their last 6 and 10 of their last 14 games. Coming into this one, Philadelphia has gone under in 4 of their last 5, but Ottawa's been going over in 11 of their last 13 games overall. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over, and Ottawa's been going over on the road for sure of late. They weren't early on. Remember, they were an under team for a lot of the first part of the season anyway, on the road, I think, if I remember correctly. Philadelphia, meanwhile, this losing streak and losing at home doesn't feel like it's going that well for Philadelphia. Can they snap out of it with Sammy Urson here in goal today? I didn't even fire up the goalie computer to see. Oh boy. Kind of look at the goalie situation here real quick. All right, go to the chat though as well. Get ready. Yeah, nobody's confirmed here just yet. So, all right. I've got Urson and Forsberg. Here we go. Cash Canes on the Flyers here. Even Jermaine says, I can't do it. Not with this way this team's going right now. Irish King says, watch out for the Dogs today. Robert McCormick likes the under in the first period of this one. And I'm going to take the Ottawa Senators here. See if they can't keep it going right now against these struggling Flyers. I'll take Ottawa. All right. Got a premium on the total in that one, I'm pretty sure, today over on Winnable. All right. Irish King says fly its money line. And a player prop there. All right, let's keep it going on the ice tonight with the Lightning taking on the Hurricanes. A sneaky good game here too, right? With the Hurricanes favored at home. They already took some steam here, up to $1.35, the total 5.5. Over at -120. The Hurricanes are hot. They've won 4 straight right now in this one, with wins here over Winnipeg, Boston, Detroit, and Calgary. 4 very good games, close games right now. Carolina 25-7 straight up at home. Lightning just 6-11 straight up as an underdog. Have to be considered here with the move, the steam that came in on the Hurricanes, up to $1.35 right there. And the total got steamed to the under here, but I think for the most part, yeah, it's still 5.5 here for the most part in this one. So see what you guys have here with the Canes at home. Feels the price might be right on, but I don't know. Carolina's won 5 of their last 6 games at home, or 5 of their last 6 overall. Tampa's still 10-2 straight up in their last 10 games. Make no mistake. They've also defeated Carolina in 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. 5 of the last 6 meetings, those have gone under the total when these two teams have met. Also, 13 of the last 18 have gone under when these two teams have played. The teams met back on January 7th, and it was 3-2. Tampa won that one, and they split a couple of meetings back in October. So we'll go to the chat here right now and see what you have. Carolina here has lost 6 of the last 8 meetings at home against Tampa Bay. So series history definitely belongs to Tampa Bay here, but let's see what you have in the chat. Carolina's obviously pretty hot here. I'm showing Vasilevsky and Kashetkov. All right, here we go to the chat. And we've got, I think Redbeard might be on the over in this one. Jermaine says Carolina puck line official play. Robert's on the Lightning, and Irish King is on that Tampa Bay money line. All right. All right, the widely reported steam did come in on the under. You got two teams that kind of trend to the under. It feels like for the most part, you've got Tampa Bay 6-10 to the under as a dog. We mentioned some of those other numbers as well to the under, right? With this series history as well, and Carolina going under at home right now. So I'm going to try the under here with Tampa Bay and Carolina at 5.5. Okay. Thanks, gang. Got some more action here right now with the Avalanche and the Wild division matchup here between two teams with similar records, two good teams. But right now it's the Avalanche that are hot, hot, hot. And the Wild, they've lost a couple in a row. Now, again, here's one as hot as they are. $2, really? I mean, yes, the Wild have not been able to turn a profit at home just yet. Carolina's a break-even proposition on the road. Still feels a little bit expensive, but Colorado's won 6 in a row, so that's got to be part of it right now. Minnesota's just 2-5 in their last 7 games overall. The widely reported steam did come in on Minnesota here, but still, this line, I said $2, but it has obviously gone down here. That steam here has made Colorado the value side, make no mistake here, and the total 5.5 over. It's definitely moved down here a little bit. I'm showing also some, 5.5 over 20, we'll call it. All right, so now that we have a corrected line, that might change things a little bit here. It might make Colorado a little bit of no value, or the value is on Colorado here with that widely reported steam to the under here in this one. Look, Minnesota's under 11-17 at home. Colorado 13-18 to the under on the road, and 23-29 to the under as a favorite. Minnesota has gone over in 4 out of the last 5 meetings with Minnesota, but Colorado has won 5 straight here in Minnesota overall. All right, we're going to the chat here for your picks, Colorado and Minnesota. All right, it's going to be Abs here for Cash Kane. Irish King is on Minnesota, and Bobby Mack is on the under here in this one. That's what I'm going to do. I've got to go under. Just give me the under here with Colorado and Minnesota, and you can grade me at 5.5 over 20, but there is there's not really any 6s out there. Grade me at 5.5, and I'm going to take the under in this one. Next up is the Rangers taking on the Jets in a attractive goaltending matchup for sure with Shesterkin and Hellebuck. I think I'm going to call this one 5.5 over 20 instead of 6.5. It's probably the same for the most part. Maybe 5.5 over 25. Might be the right line right now with Winnipeg favored, of course, in this one. And we'll see what you guys like here. The Rangers are on a 3-game losing streak to Columbus, to Ottawa, and to Washington. 2 of those games were at home. Winnipeg right now, they did lose last time out at Carolina. They were on a 4-game road trip. They split the road trip. The Jets are 26-23 as a puck line favorite. Meanwhile, Rangers are 12-9 as a puck line underdog, but you're laying a hefty price here today if you wanted to do that with the Rangers in this one. So let's see what you guys are doing here tonight with Rangers and Winnipeg. First meeting of the season was back in November. Winnipeg won that one 6-3. And if anything, man, those does feel like the line is really high right now. But Winnipeg still won 13 of their last 17 overall. The Rangers are just 1-4 in their last 5 games against Winnipeg. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. Winnipeg is 9-3 in their last 12 games at home, but they've lost to the Rangers 5 out of the last 7 times they've met here in Winnipeg. 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under here. And we're going to the chat here in this one, but I know what I'm on here, I think. And let's see what you've got. Here is a couple other games there. Irish King was on Minnesota, back on that other game. Thank you. Robert's on the under here. Jets money line and under. And Robert likes that under. All right. I've just got it as too high, but man, this Rangers puck line is high too at -170 right now. Man, this is a tough one, very perplexing here tonight. I'm going to take the Rangers on the puck line. I feel like I'm kind of out of options a little bit here with these high prices, but again, I keep it kind of basic here as my theme on the morning steam show, so I don't get into any derivatives here on the show. So I've got the Rangers here. Just gonna have to lay it. Okay. Canadians and Canucks. Well, this one's got our friends from north of the border. Let's be clear here. Don't think we're at war just yet. So the Canucks here, though, at home in this Canadian battle, $1.50, 5.5 flat. It feels like right now Montreal's lost a couple in a row right now to Calgary and Edmonton, but they hung in there. 1-goal losses in both. Canadians didn't score last game. For Vancouver here, they're off of a loss to Dallas at home. They're on a homestand here. They won over Minnesota and Anaheim before that. And you've got the Canucks here at a reasonable $1.50 or so. It does kind of feel right on here at this point. But Montreal has won 5 of their last 7 games overall, but Vancouver has won 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. However, the last 5 games here at home against Montreal have gone under when Vancouver has hosted the Habs. And in fact, it's even greater than that. 9 straight meetings between the two teams in Vancouver. They only meet once a year, believe it or not, in each locale, but still, you've got 10 of the last 11 meetings between the two teams have gone under between these two. Crazily enough, Vancouver's won 4 out of the last 5 between these two teams coming in. So see what you've got here with Montembeault and Lankinen here in this one. You got to think that Montreal here, right? For me, at I don't know, plus $1.20 or so. I want to take them actually here. Give me the Montreal Canadiens, my Canadians. Montreal, uh, profitable for sure on the road. They're gaining you zero point 0.3 units per outing on the road. Meanwhile, Vancouver is one of the worst home teams in the league. They cost you 0.43 units at home this season. So Jermaine's on Vancouver puck line. Robert's on the Canucks and the under. I guess I'm by myself over here with the Montreal Canadiens. Got just a couple games left, and the show's going to be over. Let's take a look at the Capitals and the Ducks here with Washington, a $2 favorite on the road here. The total 6.5 under at minus $1.35 or so in this one for the Ducks. Oh, let me fix my graphic there. Not too big of a deal, but I am a perfectionist. Okay, for the Caps here in this one, a $2 favorite over these Ducks, and I don't know if it's enough. Quite frankly, the Washington Caps are on a roll again with 4 straight victories here. I'm showing Thompson expected in goal here against Dostal. Washington with wins here of late over Seattle, Detroit, covered the puck line in both those. They beat Rangers and Ottawa as well. For Anaheim, they are coming in off of a win over the Islanders. They've also covered the puck line in 4 straight games, including 3 as a puck line dog to St. Louis, Vancouver, and Edmonton. They beat Edmonton, remember, 6-2. Washington, 21-7 on the road, 23-12 as a favorite. They're big time profitable on the road, gaining you 0.4 units every start. Ducks are a break-even proposition at home. They've been good here, but I think it's a bad matchup for the Ducks, and I don't know. I'm kind of a Ducks backer for the most part, a lot of times. But let's see what you got here. Can I do it? Can I go against my Ducks here on the puck line in this one? I kind of want to. I'm going to have to take Washington on the puck line here, minus 1.5 in this one. Maybe I'll find myself laying a goal. Maybe I'll go in regulation. I'll lay the puck line on the show, of course, because that's what I do. But give me the Capitals in this one over the Ducks tonight. Nothing from you guys in this one. Maybe a tough matchup there. Okay, let me move on here. I just got a couple more. I've got the Islanders taking on my Kings, my Ducks, my Kings, my Canadians, whatever. I'm on here with Islanders and the Kings in this one. With the Kings, $1.90 here at home. Kings about as good as it gets at home. This season, they are 20-3 right now is their current record in this one. They've beaten the Islanders 11 of the last 13 meetings here in Los Angeles. The Islanders have lost 6 of the last 7 meetings against the Kings overall. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Kings have won 15 of their last 19 games at home. Islanders just 2-5 against last 7 games on the road. And they've also lost 11 of the last 13 trips. Oh, I think I said that already, but let's just go to the chat in this one. I actually think the price might. I don't know. Let's see what you guys have here. Kings have won 7 of the last 8 as well against the Islanders. Let me just go to the chat here real quick. We're just about done with the show. Thank you for joining me here on the morning steam. Studio's falling apart here, but let's go to the chat. right now, and maybe Robert has no goal first period in this one. Maybe Blues going under in this one. Not sure there with you guys, but see what you got in this one. Can the Kings beat these guys? I have a feeling they're only going to be able to get a 1 goal game out of this, but the Islanders puck line is higher than I want to play there too at minus $1.70. Gosh. Ugh. All right. Maybe I'll just pivot to the total here, and I'm going to take the under in this one with the Islanders and the Kings. I kind of want to play these Islanders somehow, but I thought the Kings might even be higher here. Okay. Thank you, Robert. I'll take the under with the Islanders and the Kings today. One more on the ice, and we're done with the show. It's the Predators and the Sharks. Here, the Predators on the road, the next Stanley Cup champs at this point. But we'll see. I don't like them in this game at all. I'll tell you what I'm on already. I'm taking the Sharks here. I might be fired from the channel. Nashville's won 3 in a row. Give them credit here right now. They beat Chicago, Seattle, and Boston here. San Jose is actually off of a couple of losses against the Islanders and against Colorado here. But again, I always keep talking about it. Nashville, they still are the worst road team.
Steam play.
One little bit of steam here, real quick. But Nashville's still the worst team on the road. This is Big Sky action with Montana State and Northern Colorado. Seeing some steam here to the over in this one. I'm not so sure about that one, but it is getting steamed right now from 144 up to 145 and a half or so. Steam to the over with Montana State and Northern Colorado. Hey, we're getting a little bounce back maybe here in the market. Maybe we'll be in the green for once today. All right, let's see what you've got here in this one with the Predators and the Sharks. I already said it. I'm on the Sharks. Give me the Sharks here tonight against the Predators. I can probably read off a few numbers anyway, and most of it points to San Jose. They've won the last 5 meetings here right now. They're hot, but San Jose is a little bit of a break-even proposition, at least at home overall. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and San Jose's gone over in 4 of their last 6 overall. But Nashville's 13-18 to the under on the road. I'm taking San Jose for my pick, and the show is over. I'm taking them even with Georgiev in the goal. How's that? All right, I'm going to give one swipe here, one refresh, see if any goalies have been confirmed so far. Yari for the Penguins, he's likely. He was in the starters crease this morning. Fedotov is in there for the Flyers. That might not help anything, but Fedotov will be in there for the second consecutive game. He was okay in that loss to New Jersey, saved 20 of 22. And that might be it. Sam is in there for Montreal. He'll make the start, try to get the Canadiens back in the win column here. He's been doing well, and that's it for the goalies. All right. And that's it for the Morning Steam Show. Thank you for joining me here, everybody, for another great morning of sports betting action. Don't forget, Mikey Money will be here tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific. Mikey will get you ready for the primetime action, including those big tournament games there. You know, he'll have some picks. There's Irish King on San Jose and Roberts on San Jose. And Blue says the Sharks are Predators. How about that? Blue has an Islanders play there, second period. thanks everybody for a great show. We'll do the drawing. Don't forget, got some consensus as well. So thank you for joining me. I got out all my Champions League plays. You can get more Champions League plays from me right now by going over to winnable.com. If you're not a subscriber, I have free picks in today's Champions League soccer action. If you're interested, click the QR code in the lower right hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to my Winnable page. Get signed up over there. I've got some tennis I'll be coming at you with from Indian Wells here. What a tournament it's been. Who's going to win at Indian Wells? You can't tell me Iga's going to win this tournament on the ladies' side. Okay, you can't tell me Alcaraz is going to win this tournament on the men's side right now. Who's going to win at Indian Wells here this week? Great tournament, man. The fifth major. Also, I'll have my premium picks up there right now. If you subscribe to 1995, I've got 5 plays for the action here early on in college basketball today. So if you want more plays from me, I can't spend all day with you here. I'd love to, but you can get more plays from me over at winnable.com. We'll be firing away here today. I've been a little bit light on my premiums here of late over the last few days. Hey, if you don't think you're getting your money's worth, I'll put another couple of days. I think the subscribers know, those that are weekly, monthly. If you subscribe for 7 days, I usually put 10 days on there. If you subscribe for a month, I usually put 5 weeks on there. That's just the way I do it when they come in. It's not about the money at 50 cents a day. It's about you following me. It makes me feel so good. It gets me coming here on the show every day. So that's how you support me here on the show. That's what gets me fired up to wake up at 3 a.m. and get this show going 3 hours later. So thanks a lot, everybody, and go over to winnable.com. All right, let's do the drawing and get on out of here. Thank you very much for a great show. Where's it at? There we go. Okay, we've had our commentators in here today. Going to do the drawing. Okay, 2 consensus plays, TCU and the Milwaukee Bucks. Anthony Milwaukee Bucks. Anthony Milwaukee Bucks. He meant and Milwaukee Bucks. But little known fact, Ramon's middle name is Anthony. So there you go, Anthony Milwaukee Bucks. All right, it's going to do it. Let's get the drawing going here. There we go. There we go. Here we go. See who wins it. Tex, Cash, Justin, Jermaine, Irish King, Charles, Blue, La-do-dee-da-do-die, Andrew, Fernando, and Irish King. Very deserving here for our 2-teamer today. Look, we're only getting, you guys, I had some fun this week with Johnny Walker. I sent him some extra because I dilly-dallied around. I couldn't get around to sending it to him. I was busy, lazy, whatever. And if Irish King wins this 2-teamer, you know what? Our views are a little bit down, you guys, so please like it and smash it. Remember, I only pay 1 penny for YouTube view and then times. So this is a 2-teamer for Irish King. If we get only 200 views, Irish King only going to win $5. So try to blow this up and get Irish King some money because we might hit a 2-teamer. And we'd like to get at least $10. Give me 400 views today. It's $10. It is what it is. Hopefully one day I'll give away hundreds of dollars in this contest because we've got so many viewers, but we got probably a couple hundred of you today. So appreciate it, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. Back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Don't forget, join Mikey Money at the 6 o'clock hour, 3 p.m. Pacific, with more action today, including conference tournament games. He'll have his picks in hockey, and he'll probably throw an NBA in there as well. But I have a feeling it's going to be mostly basketball, college basketball, and hockey for Mikey Money today, and maybe an NBA prop today. Thanks a lot. Catch you next time with more Morning Steam. Thanks to everybody in the chat. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
It's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.